Yo dog, Kenny Boucher here, Next Level Painting, hitting you up with another painting tutorial. So obviously, it's Friday, the literal best of all days. Today we got something pretty cool. We're going to be painting some Lychguard from the Necrons. Now, Necrons have gotten brushed under the rug lately, but they're one of the best armies in Warhammer 40k. Lychguard are really cool. They have a little close combat element. They, the decree on detachment, they can do some cool stuff. So I wanted to bring some interesting lightning effects, but as usual, I want to show you guys my alternate color scheme that I've been known for. The Joker theme that we've been using for the Marines, but also for their allies, the Necrons. We're going with a more white theme here. So we're going to go with the exoskeleton being predominantly white. We're going to use our purples, our pinks, and our greens, as usual. Let me talk about the Long War real quick. The longwar.net is the home of the Battle Reports. It is your portal for bringing hobby back. Please, when you get an opportunity, stop by longwar.net, take a look at it, try a week for free. In the meantime, let's jump right into this. Let's do this thing. Painting Necron Lychguard. This is a really fun unit. Not a lot of people play with this model. And that's a shame because it's a really cool looking model. I love the halberds, I love the style, the extra thick armor that they got. So anyway, let's start off with gray. I'm going to use an airbrush primer gray. This thing is marketed as a primer. I got it in a grab bag at Adepticon a couple years ago. It might even be a Badger paint, I'm not sure. I like it because it's a really light gray. And that's going to be crucial for building up to white. Subtlety is going to be the name of the game here. So we're going to completely cover this black primer. We use a spray paint to secure with this light gray. And we're going to start building up to pure white. You want to be subtle. I'm going to start off by mixing my favorite white, Vallejo Air White. I'm going to mix it up a little bit with this gray we already started using. And I'm going to subtly start doing a transition and getting my angles right. These 45-degree angles. I'm going to let it skitter down the model, kind of get his, his brow ridge, the tops of his knees. I'm not going to overthink it though, because we are going to wash this model still. So you can see as we start subtly building up the whites, I'm going to start showing you guys kind of some redundancy here, because I am painting 10 Lychguards at once, and you'll see that here really soon. So I'm going to show you a few things twice, just to show you that you have to do the same thing exactly multiple times during a project. And that's this assembly line project. The marriage of quantity and quality is the next level process. Another next level painting signature move is black wash. I'm going to come in and lay down some super solid non-oil. This is one of my favorite washes in the game. GW makes some pretty solid washes still. And we're going to just coat this guy in non-oil. I mean, take a look at this. As you can see, I'm going to force it into all the nooks, all the crannies. We're not going to mess around. We're going to get it in there. We want it to really coat this model, create some transitions, and help us reach those deep crevasses to help us create that ultimate contrast and that antique finish. As we move forward on this project, you're going to notice some oldies but some goodies. So we use the thick wash process, but now we're going to come back and do this neutral gray one more time. This sweet little bright gray that we started the whole project with, I'm going to subtly start hitting this guy from a top-down angle, a little bit of the 45-degree angles as we talked about before. I'm going to start building it back into the model. This is going to give us that ultimate smooth transition, but we're going to get all those details that a lot of people don't like about airbrushing, like how airbrushing will wash out some of the details of the model. Well, this is my technique for not doing that. We're going to airbrush it up, we're going to wash it, and then we're going to airbrush it up again, and we're going to get those amazing smooth transitions, and we're still going to get that dark antiquing and realism in the underplates of the armor. It's coming out really smooth, and this is one of those things I keep talking about. You got to be subtle. You can't rush it. We went back to that neutral gray, then we started mixing the white in, that Vallejo Air White, one of my favorites in the game. Mix it nice and easy with that neutral gray that we're using. And then go pure white. It's subtle, very subtle. Remember, you got to clean that airbrush. When you're messing around with white, to get it to not speckle, you have to kind of keep a toothbrush with some water handy so you can scrub off the tip every few models. I actually go every model. As soon as I get a little bit of white down on this model, I'm going to take that toothbrush and I'm going to scrub the little needle off, get that white buildup off, so that way I can get that pure, unadulterated, clean white to come out of there and not do that speckling that is annoying and obnoxious with whites. I guess what I'm saying is you got to keep that tip clean. You can see too, I'm kind of directing the flow to some of those side panels, the greaves, a little bit on his knees and his thighs. Any big flat surface, you can really get that airbrush to do some work for you. You don't want to waste an opportunity. And you see here, I'm holding at that really extreme 45-degree angle. And this is just for those final pure white blasts that I'm going to just subtly put, like one in the middle of his chest, one in the very top of his head. You know, like you don't want to completely dominate the transitions. That's the kind of the trick with white. You can paint it pure white, but then there won't be any transitions and it will be boring. So it's about getting it as close to white as you can while still having some gray transitions. That's my technique. Not everyone would agree with me, but this is next level painting, so I don't care. And he's looking good. He's looking smooth, man. I'm really digging this guy. And these Lychguard are just so dominating looking. I mean, look at those heads sunken into those armor plates. I mean, these guys are very, very fun to airbrush. Not the easiest. They're not Space Marine easy, but that's why I'm really having fun with this build. So now let's start doing the details. Next level painting signature right here, royal purple. This is another Vallejo game color. Just buy all the Vallejo paints, you'll be happy. So I'm gonna come in real quick, and I'm gonna start base coating all the solid colors that's kind of prepping them for the highlighting process. This is a paint by numbers. I said it all the time, and what I mean by that is that the area that we are painting is gotta be precise. You have to stay inside the lines here now. It's not about being organic and being efficient. We've done the efficient organic part. Now you have to stay inside the lines like your old grade school teacher taught you. Like one of those paintings that, you know, paint by number paintings, you have to stay inside the number zone. So purple is going on clean because you don't want to undo that airbrushing. It's really difficult. Unless you're like really skilled with a paintbrush and do some hand blending to repair damage to your airbrush carapace there. It's very smooth and incredibly clean. It's almost impossible to mimic it with a paintbrush, which is why we love the airbrush. And as you can see, I'm picking out all the things I want to be purple. This is my standard Necron color scheme using the whites, the grays, the purples, and the greens. The Lychguard, like I said, I've chosen to go really hard white on them because for this commission, I have done the infantry predominantly white. But it is fun to figure out where you want to put the purples and the pinks and where you want to put the greens. So I chose to do the pinks, you know, on the extra armor pieces and some in that little coil on the weapon. And then the green I'm going to use on the orb, on the wires, etc. You know, like, and this is the best green in the business. You need to go to Privateer Press. You need to get up the Iosin green and the Necron green. These are, if you want to paint like next level painting, just buy those greens. Problem fucking solved. So good. And you know, gotta come in, and this is, like I said, this is another paint by numbers, because even this orb, like that little wrap around there, that's already the gray we want it to be. Those are already painted. We're gonna come in and highlight them later. We're gonna do a lot of edge highlighting on this guy, but in the meantime, we're laying the colors down because we got to do all the washing again. You know, like we did with the carapace. I'm gonna wash these green. I'm gonna glaze this green. I'm gonna wash those purples. And this, like I said, this is the prep. This is the technique. Lay it all down. Let it all come together at once. And do this to all your models simultaneously. Don't sit here and just paint one model. That's the old way of painting. The new way of painting is you got to paint these 40 Space Marines. Lay out your 40 Space Marines and go to town. Like, you know, do the same thing on all 40 guys. You will save so much time. But obviously, that's next level. You could start with 10 guys like I'm doing here in this tutorial. This is always difficult. I'm doing a little bit of pre-blending to the wash. I did Necron green there, and I blended it into the Iosin green base. I'm doing it here on the orb too. I oftentimes like to do this before I wash it, even though I'm going to do it again after the wash. I just feel like I get a better result here. It's somewhat advanced, but not over the top. And here you can see the 10 guys coming out really smooth and really clean. Next week, we're going to start talking about how to paint some lightning effects, how to make those power weapons pop. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. Thanks for checking out that video. Don't forget, I've got tons of other tutorials in the archives, and I do this every week for free. If you're looking for an ad-free experience, check out thelongwar.net. All these videos come out a week early with exclusive access and exclusive downloads and ad-free. Also, check out my best friend Rob Bear at Spiky Bits and of course the Long War YouTube channel for all the freshest battle reports. Thanks for watching.